mulligan to 6 on the draw is certainly something that does not bode well for Gerry. And with the Sylvan Advocate from Austin, we could see Gerry in a tough situation where he gets run over.
So Austin has a Sylvan Advocate. Gerry's just going to use a quick Declaration in Stone to get rid of it. He just wants to try and stay alive to the point where he can use Planar Outburst to try and catch up on the board. Austin does have an Eldrazi Sky Spawner, adds 2 bodies to the battlefield, which could be real important. And Gerry looks like he might be missing his 3rd land drop.
Yeah, firing off that Declaration of Stone was definitely a warning sign that there's something wrong with Gerry's hand. And in this particular case, it's because he doesn't have very many, or he doesn't have any other land drops. He needed a bunch of expensive spells. He knew that the most likely way he would lose this game is simply by not casting all of them. So you just got to fire him off on whatever while the opportunity presents itself.
Well, Matter Reshaper is going to come down for Austin. Gerry finds his 3rd land, gets a copy of Nissa Vastwood Seer. This is going to find him a 4th land. This is exactly what he needed to get going.
Yeah, and this is perfect from here. Not only does he have his 4th land, but he also has at least 2 white and at least 2 green mana. So he's going to be able to cast everything in his deck. And all he needs is 1 more land drop, and he can cast that Planar Outburst.
Looks like he has a Gideon in his hand even. So this is starting to shape up to be very good for Gerry Thompson.
And the sequence of Gideon into Planar Outburst is a phenomenal line of play. You get to wipe the board, but keep your Planeswalker on the board. It's quite good. And this is also something that we highlighted in Cedric Phillips' match, because he would pair Gideon with Languish, which is a similar play.
Austin doesn't have a 5th land here. He's just going to cash in his Clue. It looks like he might use a Declaration in Stone to take care of that Nissa. He's going to hit the Thopter, going to deny Gerry a token. He's going to attack in. He's got a Sky Spawner and a Matter Reshaper. That Matter Reshaper is going to find a Collected Company on its Dies trigger. He does have a 5th land. It's a Lumbering Falls. And he's going to pass the turn. Gerry picked up another copy of Nissa, but he's just going to play a Gideon and make a 2/2. This looks like it could be a pretty potent board if he's able to use this Planar Outburst to catch up in the next couple of turns.
Yeah, and because Gerry knows that Austin has Collected Company, we may see him sequence it a little differently than he may otherwise do so.
Try and walk Austin into using that Collected Company prematurely and then catching up with the the Planar Outburst.
The one thing that's unfortunate for Gerry is if Austin has a negate, he's got enough mana where he can continually deploy threats to the board and hold negate mana open if he so chooses.
See how Gerry decides he wants to navigate this turn. He does miss his 5th land. He has another copy of Nissa in his hand, but that doesn't really help him right this turn.
Yeah, what's particularly unfortunate about this is Gerry is likely to lose his Gideon on Austin's turn, and Gerry was really hoping that he could play that Gideon, have it absorb a little damage, force Austin to commit more to the board, and then sweep everything away right before that Gideon died. And unfortunately, things aren't going to play out that way.
Well, he's going to tack in for 7, get Austin down to 12, play that Nissa Vastwood Seer, find a forest. This is going to turn on the Dromoka's Command that's currently in his hand. And if Austin happens to attack poorly, or slip up with the way he sequences this next turn, Gerry might be able to protect that Gideon with the Dromoka's Command and keep it alive for an extra turn.
Yeah, that is definitely the #1 priority. Not only is that Gideon soaking up damage and protecting Gerry's life total, it's also going to be the one thing that he wants to keep alive until he casts that Planar Outburst.
Well, and here we have a Collected Company is going to be fired off. This is going to get a Sylvan Advocate and a Duskwatch Recruiter for Austin. So now that Gerry knows that Collected Company has been used up, he might be enticed to use that Planar Outburst next turn, and that could change this game around depending on how much of his hand Austin puts down on the board.
Yeah, so much of this matchup, particularly when Gerry's on the draw, is all about Gerry resolving a big sweeper, whether it's flipping an Abyssin, Planar Outburst, Tragic Arrogance. Those cards that can catch him up from behind are all that matters.
Now it is important to note that Austin does have a copy of Lumbering Falls on the battlefield, so even after that Planar Outburst, he will be able to pressure Gerry if Gerry doesn't have a Gideon sticking around providing 2/2s to block it.
Right. That's what's so great about Gideon, though. You play the Planar Outburst, then you activate your Gideon and make a 2/2. So good.
Let's see how Austin decides to navigate this turn. He is just going to go with that Lumbering Falls. He doesn't want to commit anything else to the board. He's going to take a point of damage to activate that Lumbering Falls, fall down to 11. Let's see where and how he decides to do this attack.
And that Lumbering Falls is indeed a 5/5 because of that Sylvan Advocate. And this is a lot of stuff coming across the board into the red zone.
Gerry is going to take a marginal amount of damage, fall down to 10.
Not yet. Don't flip that Recruiter yet.
Yep, there was a spell that was cast on his turn.
Jamoka's Command.
Gerry's likely to attack with this Knight just to see if Austin's going to block or not. Or he might just play the Planar Outburst in case there's a negate.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Gerry does here. I assume that he's going to be going for that Planar Outburst. That 2 mana open is a little scary, but Gerry may say, well, if he had negate, he probably would have used it on the Jamoka's Command. But Gerry doesn't seem to have that many other options. He's got another Gideon and a Sylvan Advocate in hand. And you can play the Sylvan Advocate and make it a 4/5, which is quite good.
With the way Austin's been playing, with like a propensity to not overextend into this Planar Outburst by attacking with that Lumbering Falls last turn, I think that you're just kind of priced into using the Outburst this turn. This is going to be interesting, though. He's going to attack with this Gideon.
So this makes me think that Gerry isn't going to play that Planar Outburst. And if I'm Austin, I may actually think that Gerry doesn't even have it.
Austin's going to take 5 and go down to 6. Now he's going to Planar Outburst. So he's going to let his Gideon die to the...
Oh, it's indestructible.
Well, the Lumbering Falls will be able to kill it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
the good thing about that, though, is if Austin is spending his mana to activate the Lumbering Falls to kill Gideon, that means he's not deploying as much to the board. Wow, and Austin just drew the negate.
Yeah.
1 turn too late.
Perfect
wow.
turn. But it could just be that's why he made this line, is he wanted Austin to take a turn off. Mm-hmm. That way now on this turn he can reload with a Sylvan Advocate and a Gideon. Austin finding that negate is going to be a little dampering, but he just drew a Linvala. All right, so Gideon's going to get negated. He's going to be able to play a Sylvan Advocate. Here Austin's going to reload with the 2 creatures that are in his hand, and then Linvala's going to come down and get some value.
So we could be looking at a Gerry 15-0 not too long from now.
Here comes the Reflector Mage. He's going to take a point of damage. He's going to play that Sky Spawner. Gerry's going to be able to make a 5/5 here. That also comes along with a 3/3.
Oh, and this Linvala is going to be back-breaking.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Not going to gain any life.
2 flyers. 2 lethal attackers.
But he is going to get a 5/5 flyer and a 3/3 flyer. And this is going to be very good for Gerry Thompson.
And Austin, I believe, is hellbent, so he's got to draw something real good off the top right now.
Collect a Company? I didn't get a good look at it. We'll wait and find out.
Yeah.
Man, this game has been awesome.
Yeah, this has been a good one.
Just back and forth. Gerry has just been navigating these turns perfectly.
Yep. Seeing all the plays that we miss. Wow, and Austin just says, you know what, there's nothing I can do.
Wow.
That is it. Gerry has 2 lethal attackers.
Gerry Thompson, after just getting ran over game 1, comes back, takes this match, 15-0, undefeated. Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable.